Here's your summer schedule, and I have tried to divide up fairly evenly the amount of work over the 6 weeks. And so I have created it to pace yourself at kind of an appropriate speed, but I also understand that everyone has a different summer schedule, so you can work through this at a pace that works for you. But I do suggest dividing up the material is the most helpful because it is a lot of information. So I have the dates for week 1, week 2, all the way up to week 6 on the far left column. And then the modules are the topics that you should be working through for those weeks. I then align the readings that match up with those modules, and then any assignments and activities that are due this week. Although for the topics and the readings, you can kind of work at your own pace, these assignments and activities are really the definitive dates in which you have to do those. So for the first week, if I've not already met with you, you need to complete the student information form, and I will set up a 5-minute phone meeting with you. You also have to complete the quizzes for that week. So the quizzes are for each chapter, so you'll take the quizzes for chapters 1 and chapters 2. And then just like every week, you'll have your discussion forum where you respond to my post by Thursday night and respond to a classmate by Sunday night. For example, in the first discussion forum, it is related to this video, PBS Frontline Poverty video on children. So you will see that all of those kind of across each columns line up. In the second week, that's May 26th to June 1st, you will be covering Module 3, and at this point we will have moved into cognitive development, and that is Chapter 3 in your textbook. Also, you will need to watch a segment of the documentary called Freakonomics, Can You Bribe a Ninth Grader? And that is available on Netflix, as well as I will make it accessible to you on ReggieNet. Also, make sure you're completing the quiz for that week for Chapter 3 and the discussion forum. Also, during this week, you need to put together your group webpage proposal. I have some examples of that on ReggieNet, but you will be introduced to your group during the first week and grouped based on your interest for the social issues. And you need to put together a brief one-page skeleton of more or less what you will be covering in the webpage. It's a way for me to for you to get started and for me to give you some feedback. And anything that's highlighted in yellow, it is an assignment that you will send to me through ReggieNet. By the third week, you'll be finishing up Module 3 and moving into Module 4. So you'll finish up cognitive development and then start on social and emotional development. To finish up with Module 3, that's Chapter 4 for information processing, and then into the social emotional, it's Chapters 6 and 7. The discussion post is related to a podcast, This American Life, about attachment. It's called Unconditional Love, where you will have to listen to. It's about a 20-minute segment of this podcast, and the discussion forum will be related to that. Moving on, you'll then continue with Module 4, more on social and emotional development with Chapters 8 and 9. During this week, you do have your group webpage and group evaluation due, so make sure that you've been working with your group on that, as well as the quizzes and the discussion forum. So for the group webpage, you will publish the webpage site, and then you will copy and paste that link into ReggieNet for me. On the 5th week, you will finish up the Module 4, that's related to Chapter 13. You will take your quiz and do the discussion forum. In the last week, it's development and context, so it's other influences that shape development. That is linked to Chapters 11 and 14. You also will have to listen to another podcast called Harper High School about a group of journalists that follow students for 4 months in a high school on the south side of Chicago. The discussion forum will be linked to that. During this week, you're also your final observations and clinical report are due, as well as your notes. So make sure throughout the whole summer session you're working towards that.